If you're grieving the loss of a pet, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Hindi Pearson. I'm a senior dog care consultant and a certified pet loss bereavement specialist. I just want to give you a little heads up ahead of time. It's a sad video because it's a sad topic. So if you don't think you can handle it, stay tuned for other ones. But I still think it's an important one to watch because I feel like it's hopeful. So I'm just going to tell a particularly sad story about one of the dogs that I lost. I mean, I say she was killed, but her name was Saffy, and she was a puppy mill rescue. We got her from a shelter where we used to adopt all our dogs from. She was around 8 years old, and she had spent her entire life in a little wire cage breeding. So by the time we got her, she was 8, and she was absolutely terrified. I can't even explain to you the terror that poor dog felt. If you looked at her, she peed. You couldn't walk behind her. It was just very, very sad. But we were happy to welcome her. The thing is, though, I mean, I'm not going to go into all the details. I really want to get to the point of pet loss and grief. So what happened was, I didn't know at the time. I'm pretty sure she suffered from pyometra because she wasn't fixed, and it's an infection, and I didn't know. And at the time, turns out I had a pretty lousy vet. I didn't realize. She was recommended to me by a neighbor of mine. So I assumed, okay, neighbor's nice. I trust the vet. And I took her, and she needed her teeth done, but she didn't do any other kind of check. So the weekend she was going to have her teeth done, her gums started to bleed a little. And I had called the vet, and she's like, don't worry, because she's coming in to have her teeth cleaned. And again, although I was experienced with senior dogs, every time you have an older dog, you're dealing with other issues. And especially if you don't have the best vet, and where I live, there's really very little option, you don't know. So I was a lot less experienced back then. And I brought her in for surgery, and it was supposed to be in the morning, and then it was pushed off to the afternoon. And I dropped her off, and I came home, and then I got a call saying, something happened, she's dying. I mean, who does that? So my husband and I raced over, and she was literally, you know what? I'm not even going to share the gory details with you. It was so horrific. Anyway, sadly, she died. I had her for 9 months. It took 7 months for her to let me pet her. That's how scared she was. 7 months. And I was home with her all the time. And 2 months later, she was dead due to veterinary incompetence. Tried to sue them. Nobody would pay any attention to me. So she was murdered, basically. And I was heartbroken, doesn't even begin to cover how I felt. So that's why I felt like I wanted to share this story, because if you are in the depths of despair, I mean, that's where I was. I think I was lower. I could not stop crying. I think I was in shock. I cried all the time, and that's not an exaggeration. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't say her name. It was actually many years that I couldn't say her name because it was such a traumatic experience for me. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't have support. I hadn't started my Facebook group yet. That was coming later with another dog that I rescued, but I didn't know where to turn. I tried calling one of those like the phone, whatever they're called. I don't want to give the name of the organization, but it's one of those telephone supports. And I remember I called, and the woman didn't even speak. She never said a word the whole time I'm crying, trying to talk, looking for some help, advice, support. She said nothing. I hung up on her. And I didn't know what to do because I was worried. I was worried because I was in such a bad way. Like, did I need therapy? I didn't know what to do. So one day I decided to start a resource center in her name, because I know people say, well, you don't want them to die in vain, so let's do something good. You know what? She died in vain. She did. Doesn't matter what anybody says. She died in vain because the vet was an idiot. That's the truth. There's no way to sugarcoat that. But I was looking for a way to climb out of that hole that I was in. And I decided to start, her name was Saffy. So I started the Saffy Pearson Resource Center. And believe it or not, that is the thing that helped pull me out of that grief. If I mean, talking about it now, I still want to cry. It's always going to be with me. It's just that I can deal with it. I've learned how to handle it, and it's not suffocating me, and it's not depressing me, but it is a very depressing thing. It's a horribly sad waste of a life. And it's, I think, and what made it worse is that she was so traumatized. She never knew a moment of kindness until the shelter rescued her, and then we brought her home. That to think she only got to live 9 months in peace broke my heart. It still breaks my heart, but anyway, I digress. So I started a resource center for people that had dogs and cats. They could come and get free advice. And because her name was everywhere, it made me feel better, and it made me feel like she was not forgotten. So I would set up in the local library, and I had a big banner, and I had all kinds of resources, and I would offer support. I did it for quite some time, but unfortunately, there wasn't a lot. I live in a very small place, and there wasn't a ton of interest, so I stopped it. But I was proud of what I did, and it really did help. So I guess the reason I wanted to do this video is, I mean, if you are really feeling depressed, it's affecting every moment of your life. You can't get out of bed, you can't eat, and it's ongoing. I mean, those things are normal, but it's what's the difference between what's normal, what's the normal grieving process, and you're depressed, and it's becoming a problem. So if you feel like that is what's happening to you, please seek professional help. See your doctor, see a mental health professional, because I'm not a therapist. I do have my training as a pet loss bereavement specialist and many years of experience saying goodbye, but a therapist is the one that is professionally trained to help. So if you're in that situation, please see somebody. But if it's, the regular, I don't know if I should say regular, but it's grieving the loss, I guess I want to give you some hope. It does get better. You do have to feel it. You can't avoid it, because you can't get through it unless you experience the grief, and you just let it happen. It's scary, and it's hard, and it's just sad, and it's messy, but we love our animals so much, and they're family members, they're our support system, they're our best friends. So, you know, you can't just get over it. You do have to grieve. But I wanted to share this story because I was in the depths of despair, and I found something that worked for me to help me. But I also wanted to, I guess, a cautionary tale about vets. I have a fantastic vet. I've had an amazing vet for many, many years. Unfortunately, I didn't know him at the time, and I have no doubt that Safi would have lived if I had seen him. I have no doubt about it. So, that makes me sad too, but you don't know what you don't know. Beating yourself up doesn't help. I did it, didn't help. But be careful of the vet that you're going to. If you have doubts, find another vet. Yes, of course, go by recommendations, but look at who's doing the recommending. How well do they care for their pets? Those are really important things to consider. So if you aren't happy with your vet, they don't listen to you, they don't take your concerns about your senior dog seriously, they view old dogs as, they're old, they're not that important. And sadly, there are vets that think like that. Run and find someone who cares, find someone who is a great clinician and will listen to you. So anyway, I hope I'm not trying to get too off topic, but I wanted to share this experience again to give you hope that you can get out of it, but you need to do some things for yourself. So let's talk about what you can do. I know it's hard to get out of bed. I lost my first cat, and I stayed in bed for 3 days. I couldn't go to work. Okay, that's also normal. But Even if you just get up and have breakfast, that's great. You have to do that. Can you go for a walk around the block? Can you talk to someone? Find a support group. I know some local shelters often have a support group, or you can look online and see if there's one in your area or one that you can join online. If you prefer one in person, there isn't one in your area, start one and advertise it and have a few people come together, because it'll help you see that you're not alone. And people find very interesting ways to cope, and of course to honor their pet, like with my resource center, for example. So you can get some really great advice, and just knowing that you're not alone makes all the difference in the world. Meditate for 5 minutes. Go on YouTube and find a guided meditation. It doesn't mean that you love your dog any less, or whatever pet you have said goodbye to. It doesn't mean you're going to forget them. It just means that you also have to take care of yourself. And please, please, please keep in mind the type of vet you're seeing and whether or not you're happy with them. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on. I think I've rambled on enough, but I hope you will find some kind of comfort in this video. I will leave a link below to my website and other articles that deal with pet loss. Hopefully something will help. And yeah, please share your comments below. Let me know where you're at, how you're feeling, how you're doing. Is there anything you have found? Has you planted a tree? Have you gone to walk a dog at a local shelter? Have you made a scrapbook? What things have you done that have helped you feel a little bit better? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and you'll get notified when new videos are available on a variety of topics, not just pet loss, but senior dog care in general. And I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.